Assalamu alaikum. Good evening and Happy New Year to all viewers of Sublime Leadership. Before I start today's presentation, I would like to express a few words about what is leadership all about, what is Sublime Leadership, and how Sublime Leadership could turn into a getaway for the burgeoning or potential leaders of the country, or can be a facilitator to develop the leadership traits and qualities of the up and coming leaders of various sectors of the country. To succinctly define a leadership, I can only refer to the best definition that I got is an activity of providing purpose, direction, and motivation to reach or accomplish a goal. So there are three strands. The leader must express categorically the purpose of his leadership. Then he must be able to give direction. And in the process of accomplishing the goal, he should be able to inspire or motivate the undercommands or the followers that he has. There are umpteen numbers of leadership organizations burgeoning all over the world, mushrooming all over the world. But the culture of developing leaders have not found much momentum in this part of the world, especially in Bangladesh. So having served in the military for 39 years in various leadership roles, I thought that it will be wise to be a facilitator to prop up the potential leaders of the country and to facilitate them to develop the traits and qualities to become better every day. I must remind the potential leaders that gone are the days that we have born leadership concept or great man theory. As Warren Bennis said, the most dangerous myth about leadership is the myth that leaders are born. That's nonsense. Leaders are made and are made like any other personalities in this world. And nothing happens if it is not being led by a leader and he drives the organizational members towards the success of any organization. So Sublime Leadership has been launched as a platform to facilitate or to infuse the qualities of leadership amongst the young generation or among the up and coming leaders of various sectors. It could be corporate sector, it could be government sectors, it could be non-profit organization sectors. So how we would do that? We would be conducting a number of such conversations or discussions. Weekly, the frequency could be increased if the demand is more. We could be holding a number of workshops. We could be conducting a number of small courses or small curriculums, which will highlight or benefit the potential leaders into developing their leadership qualities. And to get the details of it, we are constructing our website, that is sublimeleadership.com. You would get the details of it into that workshop, into that website and get the program in details and can participate. And I can assert it is absolutely free. So whoever is interested to become a better leader in the days to come, please do follow our websites and help yourself into developing a better leader. Because the leadership starts with self-leadership. Jack Welch said that before you are a leader, leadership is all about developing yourself. But once you have become a leader, leadership is developing others. And John C. Maxwell said, great leaders are those who knows the way, shows the way, and goes the way. That is the very essence of leadership. I will end my today's introduction with one of the great quotes of John Quincy Adams, who said that if your action inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, only then you are a great leader. So thank you very much for your patience. Now we'll go on to the presentation proper, which will give you some tidbits as to how a leader should lead his organization through crisis. Leading through crisis in the context of COVID-19. Crisis for a leader is not to be taken in a pejorative sense, because leaders have learned to transform or turn crisis into challenges or opportunities. And if there is no crisis, leadership cannot surface or leaders are not visible. So leading means taking an organization through critical time. The future that we are expecting to meet is a VUCA environment, a term that is coined by Armed Forces War College USA. But VUCA stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And that is the new normal of 21st century. So we have to take our organizations through all those challenges. And COVID-19 is one of such VUCA challenges. If I'm allowed to term COVID-19 as a black swan event, as if you read the book Black Swan by Nassim Nicholas Taleb, that such black swan event is here to stay, and we should always remain prepared to encounter such black swan event and survive through that and learn to thrive through that. As on today, the statistics of coronavirus of COVID-19 is shown on the screen. In Bangladesh, we have confirmed cases of 5,14,500, cured 4,58,656, and death is 7,576. And the source is IEDCR. For the world, we have confirmed cases of 8,039,557,701, cured 4,72,71,835, and death is 18,27,121. The source is Johns Hopkins University, USA. So now we know that what we are in, and people have learned to term COVID-19 to be a new normal. I would also resonate that COVID-19 is a new normal and it is here to stay. So COVID-19 will surely pass, but there will be other challenges. Could be economic challenges, there could be cyber challenges, there could be climate change challenges. So any challenges could come up as dangerous as COVID-19. So we should be prepared to face any challenges and flourish through that challenging time. If we are so exasperated about the quarantine of few days in our home, think about the great leader Nelson Mandela, who served 27 years in prison. And he was imprisoned in a damp concrete cell measuring 8 feet by 7 feet only, the straw mat on which to sleep. I can see on the photograph. And he had to spend 27 long years. If you read the book, The Leader Who Had No Title of Robin Sharma, the second principle that he has in his book is that turbulent times build great leaders. That leaders are tried, tested, and made through turbulent times. Leaders get their organization through the turbulent times to develop their leadership quality and become better leaders. So what are the challenges that we have during this crisis? The challenges are many economic challenges, but we would only focus on the leadership challenges. The leadership challenges out of many, I have accentuated only few. It is the maintaining the balance between becoming inspirational and comforting. Again, push for performance. Because you can't let your organization flounder. Again, you have to become inspirational as well as comforting. There will be many questions your frontline workers will ask you, frontline followers will ask you. And you have to be credible and you have to know all the answers of this question. So you have to be a voracious learner, readers of the challenges and how to get over the challenges. During this lockdown period, when the entire world has gone into internet platform, so now the challenge has come to how to maintain the visibility and influence, where you have very modicum amount of interaction opportunities. You don't interact that much that you used to, but again, you have to maintain the visibility and influence. How to maintain your personal brand that you have established for so many years when you are away from your followers, and again, you don't appear to be very much self-centered or internally focused. And how to keep your team engaged, motivated, engrossed into their responsibilities while you are dictating them or leading them from a remote location. Now let's go on to what are the principles to lead during a crisis. The first thing is to put the individuals ahead of organizations, and the individuals must know that the leader means individual first. It is always people first. If that kind of message is transmitted among the followers, then perhaps they will have more respect for the leaders. It is not only the confidence that you should exude or transmit amongst the followers, you have to give them hope that this anticlimactic event shall pass. And you must reduce the risk tolerance to zero. If you're a risk happy man, then the followers are not going to be happy about it. So you have to show that you're not taking any risk onto the health of your followers, and their health and well-being is perhaps the priority one thing to you, to the leader. Be vulnerable. As a leader, you should not you should not get yourself ensconced into the corner office. You should get out, interact with the people whenever possible, and make yourself vulnerable also, so that the followers, they also feel that the leaders are the leader is beside them, leader is among them, and that kind of vulnerability will definitely add to the leadership presence. And do not commercialize it. Like more often we find people are taking selfies, people are bragging about, people are vaunting about whatever they do. That's not the sign of good leader. He must not brag about whatever he's doing. He must not do things to show up, must not do grandstanding. That's not encouraged for successful leaders. At times he has to do the unexpected. All of a sudden, as if you are always doing the traditional thing, then you really cannot strike into the heart of your followers. Do something unexpected that they have not expected, or give some support, some even some words of sympathy or consolation or commiseration is also important. Focus on the small things. There's even a small thing that tends to be oversighted by the leaders. So the successful leaders would even take care of the small little details of the undercommands. Point to the credibility. As you communicate, you must provide them with credible information. Your credibility is linked with the trust that the undercommand that they have on you. So you must be a credible source of information. Offer personal help. It's not only you do things organizationally. Whenever possible, as a leader, you should offer some bit of personal support as well. You should dedicate some of your own budget to give some bit of, say, during COVID time, offered a good number of masks or hand sanitizer, whatever, or some medicine, whatever you can offer them during this critical time or challenging time. And cater to the least fortunate. So the priority should be from the least fortunate, then as you go up to the more fortunate ones. Now, in the Miami Business School, Mr. John Quelch, he had suggested 7 C's as leadership traits during crisis. The 7 C's are calm. You must project a sense of calm. Don't fluster. Don't show your nervousness. Even if you are nervous, you should show a kind of facade of calmness in your face and in your activities. You must be confident, as well as make your undercommands confident as well, because your confidence will in some way or other, through a process of osmosis, will be contagious to the followers that you have. So make them confident. Communication, extensively communicate and let them know what is the facts lying behind all those social media craps. So keep communicating, and communication is the only thing that will perhaps give more confidence to the undercommands. Collaborate. You cannot operate individually as a silo during the time of crisis. You must work in collaboration with the undercommand, the teams. If you have subsidiary organizations, they must collaborate. You must collaborate with their neighboring organization or relevant organizations as well. Community is not only your workers that is important here. It is their family, the children. They are also important, because if they are affected, your workers are affected. If you have seen perhaps by now that in any family, if one person gets COVID-19, the entire family gets COVID-19. So we have to survive as a community, and you must model the behavior that you are community friendly. Compassion, you must show compassion to someone who is in distress. If someone has lost his near one or dear one, they must feel that you have enough of commiseration or compassion for them. And last but not the least, you must have cash. Cash means the financial health of the organization, because you have to perhaps give a lot of incentives, a lot of bonuses to let people thrive or survive through this crisis. So the company financial position must be good to provide such bonuses. Now, the strategies that we have, some of the strategies, you could have umpteen number of strategies, but I will only suggested few, and this being drawn from various internet sources. Communicating extensively, setting achievable goals, making adjustment whenever possible, managing expectation, sustaining productivity by being positive, and managing stress and mental health. Many of the aspects have been already discussed. If you set a goal, that goal must be achievable under the circumstances, under this challenging circumstances. And if that necessitates adjustment en route, you should make that adjustment whenever possible. And you should be able to manage the expectation. People will have higher expectations. People will have none such expectations. You should be able to manage those expectations as well. And stress and mental health is very important. You should take care of the stress and try to minimize or take different measures which will dilute the stress as well as enhance the mental health of the followers. Now, what are the behaviors that such challenging situation calls for? One is decide with speed over precision. You must not procrastinate, because people need decision. So whatever you decide instantaneously and let your under commands know. Adapt boldly. As you know that Darwin said, that is not the strongest or the most intelligent of the species that survive. It is the one who is most adaptable, than the human being. So adapt boldly, reliably deliver, and engage for impact. For reliably deliver, take personal ownership in a crisis, even though many challenges and factors lie outside your control. And understand the team circumstances and distractions, and find ways to engage and motivate. And that engagement should be for impact. Another thing is to hold the leadership trust among the under command. That's another challenge for the leadership. That trust tends to dilute in a challenging circumstance. And why does it dilute? Because people are stressed. People are moving through a VUCA situation. So they don't know how long they have to withstand or endure such kind of challenging circumstance. So what you can do to uphold or prop up your trust, manage stress, share information with empathy and optimism, use credibility, be honest and transparent, provide regular communications, provide a forum for feedback, and be a role model. So these are the few steps that will prop up your trust, and the followers will hold you with higher trust than before. Another aspect that's very important is to maintenance of morale, because as you see on the street, as you see in your organization, as you go around, even in your family, you see that the morale is plunging. It is it is like in a downward trend. So how do you retard that and raise the morale? So what do? You can speed up decision making, as I said already, that if you provide instantaneous decision, that raises morale. Align on protecting your people. People must feel that you have taken all relevant steps to protect them. Show up and hold up. You must show up yourself amongst the followers and hold yourself up there and make visible personal sacrifices. Everyone is looking forward to you to see what kind of sacrifices the leaders are doing, because leadership is all about sacrifices. Leading means that you have to get out of the comfort zone, because nothing grows in the comfort zone. So get out of the comfort zone and accept or embrace various sacrifices, which will perhaps raise the morale of your followers. Those are the few steps, strategies, skills that I have gleaned from various internet sources, which will perhaps enable the leaders or the potential leader to lead their organizations through this crisis, COVID-19. And as we know that there are good news about the vaccine, but to vaccinate a country of 18 crore people, it will be a long shot. So we have to still perhaps encounter the days of such challenging days for a few more months. But I would remind you that, as Marcus Aurelius said, that obstacle is the way. So you should not be deterred by the challenges, but challenges will be the ways, or will provide you the ways to overcome those challenges. I would like to point to the quote of Abraham Lincoln. You see how relevant his expression was before a few hundred years ago, how relevant it is even in 2021. The disruptive leadership that he had propounded during his time. The dogmas of fight past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with the occasion. As our case is new, so we must think anew and act anew. We must disenthrall ourselves, and then we shall save our country. I will once again thank everyone for the patience. I'll only remind you about the seventh habit that is recommended by Stephen R. Covey in his book, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. The seventh habit is sharpening the saw. That means, as a leader, you should keep developing yourself and acquiring more skill to become better leaders in the future. Because as I said, I will again reiterate the same quote of John Quincy Adams, that if your action inspires your undercommands to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a successful leader.